What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Tail Talk, another episode where we actually have guests on. But first, as you all know, I'm Blaze.
I'm Doki.
I'm Wolfie.
And today we have two guests with us. We have Noxie, who is one of the leads at Transpause and Tune Together.
Hi, nice to see you guys.
And we have Nickit, who is one of the leads at Phoenix Haven.
Mhm.
Okay, I want to make sure I was
Hello.
one of the leads. I want to make sure I said that right.
Director
Mhm.
of Operations.
There you go. And today, finally, after 3 times we were teasing it, we're talking about groups and behind the scenes. So what better time to have two people that own groups, one a newer group, one that has a newer group, and a group that's been around for a while. And then we have these two that have had a group now for 2+ years, going on 3 very soon. Why not? Here we go. We're going to talk about what happens behind the scenes if you're ever interested in opening a VR chat group. So where do we even want to start? Do we want to talk about the ideas of starting a group?
We could.
All right, so this is a question for all 4 of you. Since you've started the group, what made you
You're a
want to
group owner
start?
too, don't even.
I am. We're going to talk about that at the end, though. Little surprise for the end. That's a little teaser for you, I guess, since Wolfie dropped that a little early. But I'll put my 2 cents in as well. But this is something I'm putting on the table for anyone to answer first. What gave you the inspiration, or what made you sit down one day and say, I want to start a VR chat group?
Well, my group actually has a bit of a tragic origin story. Myself and most of the staff team that we have at Phoenix Haven came from another group that at the time was going through a bit of a crisis, and everyone viewed deletion of the group as imminent. Fortunately for everyone involved, that did not happen, but due to mismanagement of the group, I elected to leave. I created Phoenix Haven. An entire staff team followed me, and we now operate with a board of directors, so that hopefully that kind of mismanagement never happens again.
Fair dues. When it comes to, I'm not really the one that started off with Transpause. I'm not going to lie, I've taken over the group. So when it comes down to that, Transpause was going through a very, very rough patch, as the previous owner was kind of letting it rot from the inside. Unfortunately, however, whenever I took it over, me and my partner in crime, which is Mitski, kind of decided, hey, we need to get this group back on track. We need to fix every single issue about the group. So even to this day, we are revamping everything. The rules, what the group actually stands for, and how to make it into a safe space again. We can't really discuss the origins because right now, I don't really know too much about the original origins of said group. However, Tune Together, my other group. When it comes down to that, is I love music. Me and Revo, who's Corona, wanted to start up a group where it's a central hub where any type of group, any type of community can come to us, and we would set up events for them. We have a lot of wonderful musicians, a lot of wonderful support to be able to provide that. So our origin is literally from the goodness of our own hearts and support for other communities.
That's me, I guess. Mine is my origins is just started like a friend group. People brought people in, grew from there. That's simple.
Mine was basically the same as yours. When it comes to group making, I've always wanted to have a community that would give people a place that they can call home, a place where they can truly feel like they can put their feet up, hang out, play games, chat, and enjoy VR chat and stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you have anything to say, Doki?
Nothing more than what you said.
Okay.
Okay. So we've created our groups. the work that goes in behind the scenes, a lot of people don't realize. They think you just open a group, people join, it becomes, they could join an instance and it becomes whatever. So the misconception is there's a lot of behind the scenes work that goes on. What kind of stuff do you have to do behind the scenes that people don't know about? Whether it be Discord, VR chat. This is going to be a big question. This is something that I think is more of a full-on just discussion in general. So that's why I'm just putting it out there. The stuff that happens behind the scenes that people don't know about. The role creation, the channel creations, the instances, the moderators, bringing on moderators, the trials, and then dealing with all the other types of things that'll come into your instance. Especially with trolling being on an all-time high on YouTube. Thanks, guys.
Not really, but yeah. To the troll. You said thanks, guys. I'm like, not really.
No, that was my sarcasm. That was 110% sarcasm.
But it did not sound like sarcasm. Therefore, I took the liberty to say not really.
Oh, I'm absolutely not. I think it's absolutely asinine what trolls do, and they make it look so fun and so glorifying, and the views are so high that everyone's like, "Oh, I now know what I want to do. I want to make a troll account," and it's stupid.
You kind of want to do it like, say, "Thanks, guys."
Hey, you're making my life miserable. And I'm sorry, but your videos are kind of mid.
Not even mid.
I mean, in my opinion, because you could tell that they're cutting stuff out to make people look dumb.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But that's my TED talk. I don't want to go too far into it. What? No, go ahead. If you have something, I'm just saying. For me, I'm done.
But that's fair. It's fair. So, when it comes to behind the scenes stuff, like Wolfie and Neca could both agree, there is a lot of structure that generally goes into groups as a whole. You cannot, a group cannot survive without some sort of structure put in place. Like there has to be some sort of hierarchy. Unfortunately, that is the case with every single group. It's literally impossible to run a group without some sort of like divisions, some sort of which roles are which. Like for instance, let me just throw one out there. Instance moderators. When you think of instance moderators, what do you think they do?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking
That's what I
everyone.
wondered.
Well, instance moderators,
we all know,
instances.
Exactly.
Content and community management.
Yeah. So they are literally our front lines. They are the ones that keep the instances safe. They are the ones that fill out their logs, handle any type of situation. But as you guys know, we're all only human. We're going to make mistakes, but it's also the higher ups of those said groups where we have to fix those mistakes, unfortunately, and make sure that it doesn't happen as much in the future.
Oh, there's way more than that.
Oh, I know.
Like,
I'm just giving a general gist.
So much more. Especially
we can even go into
just a bit of size group.
The financial cost of running a group, like at least for Phoenix Haven, we have a ticketing tool system that costs like $10 a month. We have some software that we run on our back end that costs like $8 a month. We have our website, which costs about like maybe $5 a year or something. But then we have an email server that costs me like $130 every 3 months.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. For the record, the email server I'm moving away from that towards a different, more affordable platform. But that is an exclusive thing that our group does. I don't know of any other group that does that. And I'm still working on coding that freaking server anyway. And I'm probably just going to abandon that whole thing because that code sucks.
That's fair.
I'm not a coder.
About this later.
Okay. But there's also a financial aspect to owning groups that a lot of people don't think about because VRChat highly recommends you have an appeals process, and in order to do an appeals process well, sometimes that might cost money.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say it doesn't necessarily cost money, but that is optional. So is the ban appeal process thing. It's also optional according to the community guidelines. However, it's very important still. And not only it can cost money, but it definitely costs a lot of sweat, a lot of blood, a lot of tears. There
Yeah.
is no way to run a group without having some personal opinions
Yeah.
about certain
Yep.
things. Which we try to be as professional as possible. We don't do personal really, but sometimes it does happen, and then you just have to dive right into that. So there's that.
Yeah.
I would definitely say a lot of people think when it comes to the Discord, because I just want to put this out there as someone who's had a streamer Discord versus a group Discord. A lot of people have the misconception that, oh, it's just like a streamer's Discord. You just make a bunch of channels, you put a bunch of people in there, you have a couple moderators, everything's good. Running a group Discord is very different than running a streamer Discord. Streamer Discord, it's just like that's your streamer community. That's it. They're there for the streamer and the streamer alone, and they focus on. And the streamer focuses on just keeping his community or her community or their community safe and happy and game together, whatever. With a group Discord, a VR chat group specifically Discord, it goes beyond that because in reality, a Discord for a VR chat group is an extension of a VR chat group. That's where people go when they're not on VR chat, where they want to hang out and just talk with one another, hang out, game with one another. So it goes a little bit beyond VR chat at that point then. But it's very important and it's very different. And maintaining it is a lot of work sometimes too, especially if the wrong people get in and you have to deal, as you said, as you were just saying, and you have to deal with that. And sometimes they can get personal. And they will definitely, there are times I'm sure people will walk around saying, oh, this person kicked me out because of this stupid reason. But in reality, you have like a log of all the bad things they've done. And people would probably say, oh, God, I would have kicked them out after the second thing. And you gave them like 12 chances. But sometimes people don't want to hear both sides. They just hear, oh, this happened. And it gives a group a bad name. And sometimes you have to be willing to take that in order to move forward. You're going to take hits no matter what. I think every group that's sitting at this table has had at least 1 or 2 hits from somebody saying bad stuff about them. And how do you deal with that when that happens?
Good question.
I know. I used to do interviews.
I don't deal with it.
Keep your nose to the grindstone.
By I mean why I don't deal with it is I don't would deal with it in a personal level.
Right.
I do have to deal with the issue at hand, but that really depends on the issue and how high up my team has to go to resolve it. Sometimes it can be resolved by just a Discord moderator. Sometimes it can go to higher, like a lead, and sometimes it goes to the founders. It's really individual how you want to solve everything.
How, like, if you think about it, when it does come to when it comes to people like on our level, like people who are like founders or owner of the group and stuff like that, we have to treat it extremely different from most things, because at that point you've got to shut yourself off. You can't be personal about it. You have to actually be a lot more professional and a lot more careful with what you say. Like, I've had countless times where, God, how many times? About 4 or 5 times where it kind of got personal, but I had to say, okay, in my headspace, I can't take this personally, and I have to tread on eggshells so nothing blows up. You got to be professional. You have to be, mindful of what you say. You have to also make sure that they don't start exploding and start being an issue, because you want to fix any type of issue that comes up. Like, you want to be able to make sure, hey, we're doing this, we're talking about it. I can't be biased. I can't do favoritism. I have to think of as the group as a whole, what's best for that, not just a singular person. Like, how many? Raise your hand here if you had that one person who's made a report saying you should ban that one person. Exactly. Like, that is a pretty hard one to do. Like, a regular Discord moderator can't really deal with that a lot of the time, because that's how it escalates, because that's when the person who makes said report demands to speak with someone higher. And a lot of the time, we have to take ourselves out of that personal headspace and say no, unless there is a very, very good reason for it with evidence.
Yep. The way that our group handles that is a little different than most. Because again, we operate as a board of directors, less so as heads of a group, and then like leads below that. Like our group has like 4 levels: trial staff, team lead, and board of directors. So we don't have this whole like complicated like escalation path. But the way that we handle things is as a group. So a lot of the times, if someone is unable to remove themselves from that situation, we have other people who can take over that role, but still get input from everyone. In fact, one of our boards is actually the director of public relations. So their job is to work with the community, figure out how they're feeling, what's going on with them, get us that feedback, and to try to create a loop that is beneficial to the community, and to try to prevent issues like that from happening to begin with. But when those issues do happen, we provide de-escalation training to our moderators and to our leaders to make sure that we put them in the best possible position to succeed.
Yeah, we used to have trial staff, and I believe it was with admins and then owners. And we used to do it as a group, like admins and owners like came together, did a vote, blah blah blah. That did not work out at all. That ruined the group more. So what we did, we dismantled or disbanded the admin team, created team leads. So now we have trial staff, team lead, founders, and owner. That's how we do things.
Okay.
And it's me, Doki, and Max who handles major things.
You gotta also put into play that it's not just something that you can run off with, and everybody has everybody has to have a set job for everything to run. You can't run this by yourself. It's impossible. It'll fail quite quickly. So you got our Max. He does all our technical stuff. He does our Discord stuff. He runs all that, and I don't know how to do any of that. It would crumble if it was under my hands. That's all I'm saying. But Max does a wonderful job. We got Wolfie. Wolfie does a lot of ticket, and he does a lot of the more like personal things where he recruits and talks to people and things like that. He's kind of the face of the group. And then there's the countless hours that we spent typing up rules, typing up employee handbooks for our staff, so that way they have something to refer to. The things that we do outside of this. I mean, if I told you how many staff members get in my DMs every day and ask me questions, you wouldn't believe me, but. I also get group
and you also do the
members
onboarding. You also did the onboarding for me.
Yeah, so I do well, some people do training. We don't do training. We do meetings instead because we only bring people on that we think can do the job. And that being said, so we'll have like a 30-minute little talk, and we'll talk about how our role's set and stuff. So I mean, we're planning meetings with people. We're trying to train staff properly, and answering questions. I mean, I'll be at work doing my job, and I'll have like 13 DMs come through. Hey, should I ban this? Hey, should I do this? It's like, okay, hurry up, type that, and then go back to work. But it's just, yeah. I mean, it's a full-time job on top of if you have a day job. Any group is. It's a full-time job. No matter if you work, no matter if you don't work, whatever it is a job at the end of the day. Like it is a hard work to do. And honestly, I mean, like these people that come in, and sure there is some groups that have some power trip people, and some people do let moderation get to their head. I'm not gonna lie, that's the thing that happens. But at the end of the day, these people that come in and disrespect moderators because of another group's bad apples, it's very disrespectful towards people who are putting in an entire day's work every day, trying to keep things running smooth and trying to make a nice place for people to hang out and to communicate and have a sense of community.
And not
So-
only that, our work never ends either.
No,
And
But-
never.
no.
You mentioned
You'll
that
wake up to something.
Oh, yeah, always. You mentioned that it's like a job and that it is a job. That's actually part of why I pay such a stupid amount of money for an email server, because the moment I get it coded or switch to something cheaper that will do it for me, I'm getting our group on sites like LinkedIn. I'm getting email addresses so people can put us on for professional references.
Hmm.
We're going to do resume boosting and resume building with our staff members who are looking for actual paying work. 'Cause Lord knows I don't make enough money to pay our staff. But like, just trying to find some kind of compensation for our team
Hmm.
because they're volunteering their time and it is work, genuinely.
Yeah, which we cannot really thank our teams enough just in general, because they are literally the front lines, as I said
Correct.
earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to it, it's also up to us as higher ups to provide them with information such as, like training and how we run groups and God knows what else. Like, for instance, in the next couple of weeks or next couple of days I'm going to be getting together with a few friends to try and to make a video where how to tell what is a crasher and what's not. My team need
Crasher
that
avatar.
training. Yes, crasher avatars and stuff like that, audio, you name it, because it's information that your team needs. Because sometimes when you go into an instance, they're like, "Oh, that avatar is really, really cute," and suddenly, boom, they've been kicked out of the lobby and their computer's crashed. It's up to us to provide safety, information, and just teach them generally how to run an instance. Not everyone's going to be happy with our decisions. We can't keep everyone happy. Like, each group does things differently. No group, well, a lot of groups do similar things, but no group would do things the exact same. Like, let me just put an example. Like, a lot of groups will say, instead of like fixing an issue or an argument that is going on, will de-escalate it. Your words, your voice is your most powerful tool when it comes to moderation. It is up to you on how you use it. Like, for instance, if you see player A arguing with player B and it's getting really, really heated, a lot of groups, unfortunately, that I have noticed, they would rather just kick them both and be done with it. My group, Phoenix Haven, Wolfie's Hangout, and places like that, would rather say, "Hey, what's going on?" And if it keeps getting escalated, that is when you ask them to go to separate areas. You get both sides of the story, and depending on what happens, you will either tell them either block each other. That's what we normally do if we can't really do anything about it, or one of them gets kicked if they try to escalate it again. Am I wrong?
No, you're very
No.
right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we provide de-escalation training.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
And now a question specifically for you. I'm sorry, Three, just for a second, because you're one of the only ones that has taken over a group before starting it, as you mentioned. What is that like, taking over a well-known group? Because Transpause is definitely one of the more well-known groups.
Okay. This one's going to be a long one.
I know it is, because we've had personal talks about it, but what is it like actually taking over a group because of this, in the state that it's in, if you want to talk about what the state it was in when you took it over? How do you work from there and build back up?
Okay, I'm not going to lie. When I first took it over, the group was actually in shambles. There was a lot of rot, there was a lot of explosion going on within the actual team itself, because the first owner just shoved the ownership onto me out of nowhere. I woke up one morning and boom, I was like, what the hell is going on? First thing I did, which was extremely stressful, was stabilized it. Because if I didn't stabilize it right then and there, it was only going to get worse, and it was just going to continue to rot. Unfortunately, when I did take it over, it was a lot on my mental health. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to beat around the bush. It really did mess with me, because I was getting messages left and right. I was disorientated. I was confused. And this is a group that has over 5,000 members. So when it comes to a big number like that, there's a lot of responsibility. A lot of people have a lot of expectations of you. And as soon as the new ownership comes around, I have to pick up where I'm not sure where to pick up from because I don't know where the previous person left it at. Like, fortunately, I worked with this person quite closely. So I kind of knew what to do, but trying to recover a group, you have to dig into the previous issues that has caused the group to fall apart in the first place. Things that have been swept under the rug, things that have been ignored. And as a group owner, you can't ignore all of these things. Otherwise, it's just going to build up, build up, build up, and eventually it's just going to crumble to nothing. So after literally weeks and months of nothing but verbal abuse, complaints, the reasons why people won't come to your group anymore after you're trying to repair it, it's heartbreaking. It generally is really heartbreaking because you want your community that you love so much to succeed. You want it to be a safe space. You want it to be a home. So, I'm not going to lie, I would not be here today if it wasn't for Mixkey. I was not able to do it alone. I stabilized it alone. The previous owner came back for a little bit, but I kind of fell back into the state that it originally was. No one was coming in. It was riddled with trolls to the point where I couldn't take it anymore because they wouldn't want to do anything. They'd just rather sweep it under the rug. I'm not trying to like dog on the previous owner or anything like that. I'm just saying how it is as facts. When you have to deal with stuff like that, when you give them that second chance, it's not good. It really, really isn't. So anyone out there who's going to try to fix a group and when they took over ownership of it, good luck. If you do need help or if you need any type of advice, do not hesitate to come to Transport's instances or the server itself and give me a ding because it is hard. It is really, really hard. And it's going to break you mentally at times. It's going to put you off. But as soon as you push through it, it's very rewarding. The group now is slowly getting better. I had to rip away the issues that the group was having. I unbanned certain people. I spoke to these people that hated the group, who caused a lot of the issues for the groups. Your words are your most powerful tools. I've learned this day one from moderating, because I started right at the bottom. And I built my way up because of how I speak to people, how I communicate. You listen to their side, they listen to yours. You come to a compromise. And when you compromise with people, that is how you fix a group. It may not be perfect, people may not like it, but at the end of the day, it's either keep one person happy or you keep your community alive. And sometimes you have to make that sacrifice to let that person go. I had to make that with the previous owner. When they left Transpause, yes, I was heartbroken, but I knew I had to do it. I generally knew I had to remove the issues from the previous owner. Otherwise, nothing would be fixed. But the group is doing well. We are thriving again. We are getting back on track. We have our events are back. People are happy. We're actually back on the radar with quite a lot of different groups, such as Furry Hideout. We have people like the VR Chat leadership. We matter again. And we just want to be a successful group. We want to be a home for everyone. We want to keep to the core values of what the group actually is, which is we are the trans community. Generally, we are part of the trans community. That is what the whole core of the group is. It's a safe space for people like me, people like Nekit, people like Wolfie, anyone. It's a home. That is all it is.
And you've been doing a really
That-
amazing job.
I've been trying.
And that is what Wolfie's Hangout and Phoenix Haven is too. It's just also a home.
Yep,
Just
Phoenix
wanted to put that out there as well.
Haven's name is literally a second home for when your world is burned to the ground. There's nothing left. It's a haven for you to go to, where we believe in second chances and a chance to make
Mhm.
things better than they were before.
Mhm. So, what other things can y'all think of that people don't consider when it comes to group making?
Drama.
Hiring.
That thing is inevitable. You cannot get away from it anywhere.
Nope.
No, we're not
It's not
getting into the
happening.
topic of drama. We are not
Yeah,
talking of no.
it's
But yeah.
it's too much. There's
Sorry,
too
no.
much. There's no way. I knew one person who tried to avoid it. And I'm like, you're in VR chat. It's unavoidable. You will not hang out with anyone. Then you will not be in any group in any setting because there's always going to be something minor,
And even if-
major. It happens.
Yeah.
If
Like,
you're
nope.
against drama, stay at home.
Yeah. Because like you may not even be aware that you're being dragged into it. You could just be repping a group. You've been to their instance a few times. You like the group.
Yeah.
You rep the group. You go to another instance and you find out that those two groups are at war and you had no idea. Now you're banned. Congratulations, you're in the drama.
Mhm.
What were you
That's
saying,
it.
Doug?
Put it this. I was going to say, put it this way: when you go to work at your job, you don't love all your coworkers. There's always a coworker that just rubs you the wrong way, and you maybe you treat them kindly in your eyes, but they notice how you treat another coworker, and suddenly they have beef with you. It's that easy to make drama. It's just literally somebody misconstruing something, or somebody reading you wrong, or somebody making assumptions. And it happens IRL in our workplaces and schools. It happens when you're just walking into the store and somebody if the greeter doesn't greet you at a local store, you're just like, okay, I mean nothing. That instantly is self drama, right? We're prone to it. It's just natural, and it's going to happen in your group. The important thing is to diffuse it as soon as possible.
I just gotta say, you mentioned greeter.
Hmm.
That is a U.S. thing.
Yes.
Here in Norway, we do not have any greeters whatsoever when you walk into the store. No, we don't care.
Yeah, same here in the UK.
Yeah, I don't get it, but that's me. I guess it's a cultural thing. Like I talked to some people about earlier today too. That like I think it was Chris actually that I talked about. Like my people, like Norwegian people, can come out rude. Doesn't necessarily mean we are. Just because the Americans can take one thing and say, "Oh, that's rude." Well, we're used to that, right? So it's the same in VR chat as well. Like cultural things, it will happen. Yeah, I lost my train of thoughts.
Cultural differences can cause people to miscommunicate and to misjudge something very easily.
That is what I
because
was
something
trying to
we
say.
say, because something we say would be something like something you say, for example, that you would think it's just normal talk. Somebody in America, for example, would say, "Oh, that's kind of a rude sentence to have," or "That sounds very judgmental." Doesn't mean it is. It just means
We can actually come with an example on that. Me and Dogi. Jungle Gym.
Oh, and so
my
we
God,
were in
that's a good example.
we're in an international store, and we were looking for Norwegian products while they were here, so I could try some of their food before I had ever flown over there. And there was 2 aisles. Let's say it's aisle 13 and aisle 20 because I don't remember what the aisle numbers were. We looked all the way through aisle 13, and we just happened to see a nice little sign that said, "For more of these items, look in aisle 20." We shoot down to aisle 20, start looking, and Wolfie's looking around, and he's like, "There's no Norwegian stuff here." And this guy was like, "Oh, actually, there's more Norwegian stuff in aisle 13," not knowing that we had just been there. An American person would say, "Oh, thank you," and just kind of go on, even if, they're not going to say it like that. Wolfie goes, "I know."
Yeah, and it's not because I was rude. It's because that's how we do it here.
Yeah, it wasn't intended to
that's
be
a
rude.
cultural.
No,
Correct.
not at all.
What I find funny
But,
is like when it comes to the greeters, particularly when I went to the States for the first time and I got greeted at the door, I'm not gonna lie, it scared the ever living heck out of me. I was like, "Ooh, person."
Yeah, no, it didn't scare me. I just find it odd, but it never scared me. I don't think there was anything that kind of scared me while I was there, to be honest. No, that's not true. Your neighbor scares me, but that's different.
You didn't
You
see a
scare me,
raccoon
Wolfie.
jolt in the night. That'll freak you out when you're taking trash out, and all of a sudden a raccoon's just right next to you.
Oh god.
I mean,
and then it
maybe.
runs up a
like,
wall, and then
"Aw,
it just
it's
runs straight up a
Doki."
wall.
Wait till it
Mhm,
starts scurrying at you.
They're
We
big.
don't.
Would you
We
rather-
don't
They're
have
big.
raccoons here. We don't have raccoons.
They're bigger
here.
than a
They don't
cat.
exist here.
They're bigger than a cat.
They're
Wolfie.
big.
Hey Doki,
They're definitely bigger.
would you rather
Yeah.
deal
Depends
with a British what do you call him, badger? Try
Your
walking
badgers
home
look
and that thing right in
nice.
front. Oh, they're not. Like
Your-
it was right in front of my
Oh,
door.
I know.
I couldn't get in my house.
Your badgers look like, hey, would you like a spot of tea? Our badgers look like, I just woke up and I'm on 4 Red Bulls. Like they have like a really angry face.
Right?
My
They look
animal
like
is
they're
better than
about
your
UK
animal.
badger. The
This is a
UK
furry
badger.
conversation.
The UK badger is very similar to the Norwegian badger. There's no difference there.
They're terrifying.
They look nicer
They
though.
can be. They can
do
be.
look nicer.
They are not.
I assume so.
They
They're
are
really,
definitely
really
not.
not.
Or like skunks. There's a bunch of different types of skunks. They don't all have the stripes. Just because you don't see stripes doesn't mean you don't have to run.
We
I'm
don't
running.
have skunks.
Yeah, it's kind of a
Again,
fuck you, North America kind of thing.
Okay. Here's my question to you guys. Ban appeals.
I'm not answering that.
You're not answering that?
I have. What's your question?
When it comes to ban appeals, because it is behind the scenes, what is the general way you guys handle it? Because each group does do it differently. Like, for instance, a lot of groups have specific people who handle the ban appeals. Like, they go through the issues, like, discuss it with them. How do you guys handle it?
It depends on the ban and who was banned and why they were banned. I think Doki is more equipped to talk about this than I am right now. Because I handle the worst of the worst.
That's fair. We do have some Discord staff who, and most of our staff are available to answer a common complaint or a common question. We have it set that way, so that way, if somebody can answer something, or they have the option to. And our staff, we have full trust in them to be able to do so if they so please. When it gets to things that we also have an admin ticket, so when it gets to things that are a bit more dodgy, things that might be, illegal activity in the group, things that might be feuds in the group, things that are just a little bit more rough and a little bit more abrasive, it usually goes to the founders straight up. And sometimes there is no good answers or easy answers, and sometimes there's a lack of evidence for us to do anything. So we do investigations. We have a security team that looks into these kind of things too to help alongside. But ultimately, it's sometimes you get some tickets that are up in your face, and people are not kind in the ticket system. Sometimes you get people who are, get out of my face. But yeah, basically, like I know. You get a ticket. You get a ticket, and somebody doesn't agree with your rules. Even though when you're joining a group, you should honestly read the rules, because even though most groups coincide with the TOS for VR chat, some of them are different equipped. We are a 13 plus group. There's other groups that are 18 plus, and they might allow a more adult conversation, or they might something like that, whereas we don't. I think it's very important that people know that when they join a group, they are accepting our terms and conditions essentially by joining. They are accepting that they've read that, and they're subject to ban or kick or whatever type of actions we have to take if they break those rules, because those rules are set in place for the group specifically. So sometimes you get a person that comes in, they're like, why was I banned? You're like, so you tell them how they're banned and why they're banned, and they might not like that too much, and sometimes they'll get in your face and they will yell. You can tell that they're yelling through the keyboard just because it's all caps and it's just full of vulgar, angry, spiteful things, and sometimes you're just like, okay, have a good day. and you just sometimes it's as simple as that, but other times it's like, why is this? I want answers. I demand this, and it's like, okay, we have to take this back a step. We need to find out what happened.
Mhm.
We're not just going to make an assumption based on your words and our words, and we need to make sure we know what's going on. So sometimes tickets can take as little as 10 seconds to sometimes even a week, depending on how deep the
Can
situation
take
is.
longer too.
Oh,
been
I've
having
had
a
'em take
feeling
longer.
That's what's been
I
going
have-
on for probably a month and a half.
Yeah.
Here's a funny
Yeah.
question: how many times, show of hands, why was I banned and the person wasn't banned? Have you gotten show of hands of anybody who's gotten that? And everybody raises their hand because people don't check what happened, whether they were kicked or banned. And the first question is, why was I banned? And they were never banned. And you're sitting there
Blaze?
going,
I've got a great
Yes.
story about that.
Yeah, there you go.
oh, do
It
tell.
was in the last group that I was in. At that time, we had logs of people who joined the instance,
Mm-hmm.
and those records went back about 3 days. And so I got a ticket. Hey, I was just banned from your instance. Why? So I'm like, do. You're not banned from our instance. They're like, well, then I was kicked. Why was I kicked? And I'm like, okay, you weren't kicked either. And they're like, but I was. This literally just happened, and I'm like, that's impossible. Was it maybe a different group? Was something else going on? They're like, no, it was your group. I remember it was your group. They hadn't even been in
Why
our
do I-
instance in the past 3 days.
Oh my God! So they weren't even. What?
No,
Yeah,
they
it
were
happens.
not in our instance at all. And that shit happens regularly with the bigger
So-
groups. Like, I know we don't get that with my
Wait.
group.
So how
but
did that
we're small,
resolve?
but
Did they find out they were wrong, or do they still insist?
I told them, they still insisted, and they got rather belligerent, and I didn't have a choice but to remove them.
Well, then now
Mhm.
they're banned.
There you go.
So they got their wish.
Kind of.
favorite
Clearly, they
thing.
wanted to be removed.
I'm
I
pretty
feel
sure
bad
at that
about it,
point
but
they
it's
just
like-
think the. Oh,
Hmm?
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that was pretty much it. It's just like they must have been baiting. Like that's,
Mhm.
how else do you mess up that bad when you join a group?
Right.
That group had multiple signs in the lobby. How do you
Right,
not? How do you do that?
I'm pretty sure they just think the entirety of the furry hideout is like the entire thing.
Yeah,
Right?
probably.
A lot of times people did think that like, oh, you're staff of Red Hat or you're owner of Red Hat. I'm like, no,
No, that's LT.
I am not the owner of
LT
Red
can
Hat.
have that.
Oh yeah, I'm not taking that responsibility.
No.
Someone walked up to me when I was just a lowly mod for that group that I was talking about before I became HR for them, and they were like, "Oh my god, did you make this world?" And I'm like, "I'm not even repping the staff group. How in the fuck do you even like what?"
It's like,
That might be a troll.
Oh,
Most
that was
likely.
definitely a troll. They got banned like 20 minutes later.
Right.
And if you're gonna open a group, we've said troll a million times. Just be ready because we're not even exaggerating. This is a daily occurrence. Would you say it?
Hourly,
Daily
minute,
occurrence?
by the
Hourly.
minute.
Hourly occurrence. Yeah.
I'm
And it's-
just gonna say one name. Chaos Kid. He has
I've never met this person.
legitimately 400 accounts.
I've never met this person, but
Minimum.
I've heard in
Minimum.
story this person a dozen times.
It's like a
Wasn't he
rite
the
of
first
passage for
member?
trial mods to kick chaos for the first time.
My God.
right.
Give me
Nick it.
back my name. I'm chaotic.
Wasn't he
That-
like your first ever member that actually came into the instance?
No,
I think he was because I was there. I remember the
He was
first
number
one coming in,
7.
and it was Kia. Oh, he's number 7. Okay,
That's
pretty
pretty
close.
much one of the first, though.
yeah, he was our first kick. Besides me,
That does
I was
bring
our
up a
first
good
kick.
point, though.
You can thank
Good job.
Mitski for that, by the way.
Having
So
keep
the rite of
putting from my
passage
group
is find chaos and kick him. That's the rite of passage for all groups in the furry community.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or in
Well,
any
when he's
community,
active, he's not active at the moment.
Not
Good.
right
That
now.
So
is a
when
good
they're
point,
bored.
though. That we are talking about trolls. There is the whole people coming in with cameras, doing either YouTube content, things like that. I would say the best thing to do is if you ever have anybody approach you and ask random questions, anything like that, like definitely be professional. Like if somebody's asking you questions about your group, I've seen it a lot, and a lot of people, it's kind of like they dig their own hole essentially. Somebody will come up to them and they'll be like, when my friend get banned, they'll be like, F you don't even know this is my group, I own this. And it's like, whoa, you just made yourself look like a tool. Like now everybody in their videos like, that's why I don't go to furries, man. Like it's they make a bad name for themselves. If somebody comes up to you, the best way to do it, we always like refer people to a ticket system. When my friend get kicked, I'm sorry, we can't handle this in the instance. If you'll join our Discord and make a ticket, we could be happy to help you there. Professional, straightforward. Don't mince your words. Don't get confrontational. Like that is the best advice I can give you when it comes to this stuff, because people are filming this stuff all the time. They're trying to rage bait you. They're trying to catch you. So be professional, be calm, and level-headed.
And don't think just because you don't see a camera, because in VR chat you have the little floating camera. I mean, I could show the floating camera. I mean, that's easy. If you see this, that's a camera. But the problem is, when it comes to, you don't need this to record. People in desktop mode could be recording straight off of their computer screens, and that's how a lot of the bigger YouTube channels are. And Quest can record straight from the headset. And then there are people who just use Streamlabs and literally record whatever their eyes are seeing. If you don't see a camera, assume there's a camera anyway, because people have found ways to record on VR chat without actually showing a camera. So always assume you're being recorded no matter what, because 9 times out of 10, you possibly are. I know somebody who records all their hangouts just because they don't trust people and they want to have records of their interactions with people in case somebody says something that's a lie. And then they're like, nope, here's my video from 2 days ago. And it's like, well, thank you for telling me you recorded me, but what the F?
Yeah, I know someone with a raid server specifically for VR chat footage.
So there's always a camera somewhere.
Like I even helped in the development of an asset that let you
instant
camera
record.
Right
there if you don't see it.
It's no different than IRL chat rooms though too. Like IRL chat rooms get screenshotted all the time. The things that you say can all the time be ending up in forums and Reddits and things like that. It's no different. Just don't say anything you wouldn't normally say. That's another thing. Be authentically yourself, but also don't be a jerk.
Yeah, there are so many videos where people look like
common
you said
sense.
it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Use common sense.
They're not
Just
don't
don't
common
say
common sense.
How many times have each of us ended up in a troll video? I know of at least 2.
0 so far.
I don't.
But I'm
I
sure
lost the
eventually.
count.
0. Well, no, technically 1 for me, but I wasn't the focus, so I'm good.
No, I was.
I might have been in the background of 1 or 2.
I know exactly which video you're referring to.
I'm too
I was in
boring.
the
Chris is
background,
Chris
but I
is
was
one
quiet.
That's my
in
problem.
1 too.
Yeah, I saw Chris in 2 actually.
me.
I saw Chris in 2. Actually, I saw Chris in 2, and you actually banned one of them. You were banning one of them. Yeah. You didn't say anything. You just literally banned them. And that was it. You
Like,
just saw your character
hang on.
going, boop. So yeah, no, it's just with trolls, you just got to be professional at all times. I mean, they've already made not just furries, but VR chat in general. They try to make it look bad. You could see in the comments people going, wow, people are crazy on this game. Thank God I don't go on this game. And it's like, it's not true. It's very good editing, I will say that, but be professional if you're going to open a group.
It's not.
important.
No. It's not even good editing. It's so bad too. Like
yeah, you can see the cuts.
literally
You
just.
can.
Yeah, you can
I'm
see the cuts
trying
really
to
easily.
be nice. I am trying to be a little
Why
nice.
the hell are you being nice to a troll?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
don't
I
be
gotta be a
nice.
little nice. I'm being professional.
See, I will say, I have not seen this video. The person who told me about this video found me in the instance. I'm like, oh my God, I recognize your avatar. I just watched a 30-minute video of you. And I'm like, send me the video. And they're like, I don't have it. I have YouTube history off, which is valid. But no, apparently they wanted to commend me because I was dealing with this troll for 30 minutes. I was just dealing with this troll. And I'm like, I know exactly when this happened. It was at the time I was moderating for the Australian time because who knows why. And I was the only mod at the time. And normally during that time slot, the instance was on fire. So I was very much used to trolls at 8 different places in the instance all at the same time. Because at the time, Furry Hideout also had a cap of 62 people.
Right.
It was a 60 something. So it was a lot higher than it is now. So it was a little bit less manageable.
Specific number though, 62.
Yeah. But we so I'm just like used to just utter chaos. And I just had these 2 trolls and their target is me.
Yep.
And that was it. They weren't fucking with anyone else. And I'm just sitting here like, this is peaceful. This is peaceful. I'm going to let these 2 fuckers do whatever they want. And I'm just going to not react to it. And they still made a YouTube video out of it. And apparently it was just commendable how well I'm just like, eh.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? No matter what, whether you react or don't react, they're going to make the video. That's what their goal is when it comes into group instances or any instance. The goal is always to make a video and make content.
What are you doing?
For those of you listening, Noxie put their cube on the table.
My sugar cube.
Sugar cube.
No, we
Wouldn't
don't.
you say
no.
that's a salt cube, if anything, because we're talking about salty people?
It moves. It's a sweeping angel cube. Get rid of it. It moves when it moves when you're not talking to it. Not talk. It moves when you're not looking at it.
I move when you're not looking at me. Do you want me off the table?
Are you on the table?
That is entirely up to you.
I don't know. Am I? Only the viewers of the video will know.
So watch the video on YouTube if you haven't already.
Okay. Here's
We
a
have a lot of
fun
fun
one.
stuff on there.
Listening to the podcast on Spotify, yeah.
Different types of groups have different type of moderation styles. For instance, do you know the main difference between a instance group, such as like our groups, and difference between more music groups, such as like Beryllium, Call Bells, and stuff like that? There is a lot of difference with it.
Get to explain to the audience?
Okay, so generally, when it comes to VR chat groups, depending on the type of audience you want to go for, there is multiple different kinds. Like if you wanted to open up a regular group instance groups, kind of like what I have, what Nekit has, what Wolfie has, and Blaze. There's another one as well, which is the music scene, where the way they run things is completely different. Like, it's a lot more technical and a lot more advanced than anything we can probably produce. Like, for me, I can probably explain a little bit when it comes to the music side. So I'm going to do a little bit of back and forth when it comes to it. And who am I going to use as an example? You know what? Nekit. When it comes to, since you have experience within music groups as well, you know the difference between them, don't you? Like, when it comes to regular moderation, depending on the time of night, depending on the time of the week, or when you host the events, it could be either really chilled and relaxed with regular moderators. They won't really have to handle much thing because people are so entranced with the music and having a good time. Or it could be hell on earth, generally.
Yeah.
But that can also be, that doesn't necessarily have to be an event or music instance either. It could be a group instance as well.
Yeah, it can be, but it's a lot more common when it comes to group instances and music ones. It's a lot more relaxed.
No, that really depends on where you have the instances.
Mm.
If you have an instance in a world that's not very known, you might not have much moderation needed at all. So it's kind of the same, really.
But we have to agree, though, that the difference is between those type of two groups, Wolfie, is technical side. There is a whole different matter when it comes to it. Like, for instance, in the music scene, they have AV, which is like visuals, streaming, all the other technical things to make sure that the instant goes smoothly. That is another big difference between regular instances and music instances. There is
Yeah,
a
but
lot
that is-
to. Go ahead.
No, never mind.
Yeah, like there's a
Continue.
lot more different things when it comes to like technical side. Like I don't have a crazy amount of experience when it comes to that. Don't get me wrong, we have a different person who deals with that. I normally have to look specifically for performers. I do the staff management for it, which is a completely different ball game in itself. Like trying to find performers and actually be able to actually set up like schedules, how long they play for, the type of music that's going to fit the event is a lot more different type of work than it is when it comes to like group instances. There is a lot more planning when it comes to involved. Like each group does do events. Sometimes they will collab. Like for instance, I collabed with Wolfie's group. It went absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
We had an amazing AV person who set up the streams, set up the visuals, and on top of that, made sure that every single thing was running smoothly. So generally, what helps the most when it comes to the music scene is connections. You need to have those connections before you open up a group like that, as much as people
Okay.
disagree. Because if you start
Mhm.
and do those and start going around saying, hey, can you perform for us? They may not even know you and they're going to be a bit hesitant. I've had that in the past where I went to a random person and it's like, hey, I love your music. Would you perform for us? And they look at me like, who are you?
Hmm. Being known definitely helps a bit, or getting to know the
It
community
does.
first, or being a part of the community for a while definitely helps a lot.
But something else to keep in mind is just like don't be afraid to reach out to people.
Mhm.
Like we are all very friendly people. If you walk up to me in a Phoenix Haven instance or any instance I may be in, I'd be happy to talk to you. I'd be happy to give you information, pointers. I can't give out classified information or anything like that. Not that I have a ton of that. But like it's the same with musicians. Almost all of them are happy to get to know you, are happy to build
Mhm.
those connections because that helps them too. So if you want to open like a music event or if you want to open a group event or group instances, just get to know people. That's going to be your first step. Like my group had a kind of a shortcut. We kind of cheated a little bit because we were a splinter from an existing group already. But if you're building something from scratch, start with those connections.
Mhm.
Yeah. People are genuinely terrified of me for some reason.
Oh,
I don't know why. I enjoy
Wolfie.
talking with you all the time. I think
Same.
people wonder.
Because you know me.
True, exactly. And I know how you speak. I know how you present yourself. That might
Right.
be why, also.
Mhm.
And I'm just
Yeah.
very comfortable with it.
I
But
hope no
that
one's
is.
afraid of me.
No. I'm not afraid of anybody that's at this table or the camera. So, what are you,
Anyway,
an octopus? Anyway, we're going to end the show off. That's about all we have time for this episode. Does anybody, before I go, because I do actually have news that Wolfie alluded to at the start of the show, does anybody else have anything they want to mention that's going on right now?
yes. I want to say happy birthday to Chris, who sits behind the camera. And tomorrow
Mhm.
it's Nox's
Happy
30th
birthday.
birthday, so that's gonna be a
Happy
big
birthday.
thing.
Happy
And thank
birthday.
you for Naked and Noxy to be here.
Mhm.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Also,
Happy to be here.
one more thing.
Hmm.
Transpause on the 30th of August is having a 6K members event with live musicians. Feel free to come along.
You timed that poorly.
I really did. I completely forgot about it until this one mentioned something.
It's
Well, that
okay.
was kind of perfect too because this will drop on the 25th.
Exactly.
Nice.
Well, I
Okay.
wouldn't plug our event because it's on the same day, Wolfie.
Shit.
A few moments later.
But anyway, I do have a major announcement, and it's actually, this is going to be the first time I publicly mention this in any setting. So this is a first time. I have my own perfect timing for this podcast. I have my own group that is going to be going live as of September. It's called Blazes Wolf Sanctuary. It is an 18 plus group. It's a little bit different than everybody else at this table's group. It's a more adult centered group. However, we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be doing events on VR chat, events in Discord. We are also connected with a group from Blood on the Clock Tower, which is a social deduction game. We have a bunch of stuff. And then also I'm going to be doing a lot of my streaming stuff is also going to, and content creation is also going to be a part of that Discord. So the group is going to be a pretty wide variety amalgamation of many different things, but there is a VR chat group. We will be going live in September, and this is going to be going up at the end of August. So keep an eye out. Like I said, we'll be going live as of September 1st, among other things like my YouTube channel and everything else starting September as well. So you got a lot of stuff coming from me to look forward to as September starts up. So yeah. And with that, that's the end of the episode again. Noxie, thank you so much. Nickette, thank you so much for being with us on this episode. And we'll see all of you next time in September for another episode of Tail Talk. Take care, everybody, and stay hydrated.
Bye.
We will see you on the 25th of August. No, wait. Yeah, no, you're right. Never mind. Cut that out.
We'll see you in September,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.